Hello everybody, Ryan from Mana Bluff here in another Fate Reforged draft. Cool. Let's see. Our rare is not one of the super duper bomb rares, but I still think it's good, right? Monastery Siege? It's just in that control-y blue build, you're just drawing two cards and you're basically filtering through your deck, right? Because you're pretty much always doing cons. I'm pretty sure you're not ever choosing dragons, where spells your opponents cast, try opponent you control cost 2 more to cast. It seems kind of weirdo. The thing is, there is a Goblin Heel Cutter, which is one of the best commons ever. Do I want to take that? I don't care about the foil uncommon, nor our colorless uncommon. And, I mean, Ruthless Instincts is fine. It's a good combat trick. I'm gonna take the Siege. What? Wait, is this the one I think it is? Alicia, whatever. Maybe 2 if you... Return target creature power 2 or less from... okay, so never mind. This is not... I was going to get really excited for a second. So this actually is a much better pack, considering... this is a solid red 3-drop, but I think the Heel Cutter's better. It's a little more powerful and has a larger effect, but still, 3-2 with some buying back power is cool. But there's also an Aven Surveyor. I think they're kind of on par. I don't really know which is better. I'm sure the pros have an opinion on that. But seeing I'm already in blue, then since I think there's these two commons are so evenly matched, I'm going to go ahead and take the Surveyor. It also tends to just be the kind of card I like. If I want to start building like a more control, slower deck, which I enjoy a lot more than like the red, I'm going to go for it. Plus blue is just a little bit better color in Fate Reforged. I think we all know that by now, with red being kind of the weakest in the format, even though heel cutters, those two heel cutters are scary when I think about it. Passing those. Shamanic Revelation, I'm not too stoked on. Fascination, no one plays. Teamer Sabertooth, though, is insane. And I'm pretty much going to slam it here. Enoch Guide, Enhanced Awareness, Grimmager, Hunt the Weak's okay. Yeah, Sabertooth is just light years above everything else in the pack. The blue cards aren't that exciting, with Fascination and Refocus being pretty much unplayable. Well, I mean, Refocus goes into a Jeskai deck. Enhanced Awareness is fine and is a good card draw in a nice control-y deck, but you can pick up these effects later with the Treasure Cruises and whatnot. And then Gurmag, Angler, and Hunt the Weak I think are better anyway than Enhanced Awareness. Angler probably a little bit better, but Hunt the Weak is like just a super strong removal spell in green. But I mean, there's no way I'm not taking this Sabertooth. Not too sure if these are the colors we're playing. Gonna have to kind of wait and see what continues to be open or not open. Sorry, I want to scoot some stuff down. Pretty sure this is gonna be the Lotus Path Jin pick here. It's just we're more in blue than green, even though I would really like to play the Sabertooth. It's just also I mean, it's just the best card here. Shockmaw Dragon is a decent dragon, but I'm not going to move to red for it. These uncommons are kind of a waste. The Stone Retainers I could see happening. It just seems like way too hard to set it up. Ethereal Ambush I would play, but I'd take Right Over Being over the Ambush and Lotus Path Jin over the Right into Being. Not seeing any other powerful green, so maybe the Sabertooth is a fluke? I can't imagine. I mean, it went third pick. That's just kind of silly. And I'd be happy to be in blue green. After all, Sultai in cons was my favorite. Here's just a pretty weak pack. The Enforcers can get pretty strong. It does seem like red's quite open, so it might be time, even though I passed a lot of red, to kind of just start hedging into it. Red-blue is, of course, a nice, powerful archetype in this format. The thing is, I feel like the cards that make it happen, like the Heel Cutters and like the Teamer Battle Rangers, I've kind of passed along. And this guy isn't exactly fantastic. The thing is, there's nothing else I want to... I mean, Rashaka's Disdain, I think, is horrible. I could take it for the sideboard. I guess I could take like a Feral Cruciak at 5. Maybe I take the Grim Contest on Speculation if I go into black, though I haven't seen black. It might be worth having in the colors I like. So yeah, I'm going to take the Enforcers because red seems more open, even though I like the Big Butted Do a lot better, which is the Grim Contest. But if I had to, since I had to like pick into black or red, I went with the color I saw open versus the more powerful spell. Here's an interesting decision. Not a lot of blue. Again, Enhanced Awareness I do like, and Ethereal Ambush is playable but not fantastic. But there's a Bathe in Dragonfire. It keeps showing me that red is just ridiculously open to my left, and I should get a lot of it in the third pack. The only thing that sucks is that the cons red is so much weaker than the Fate Reforged red. but it kind of means I might be leaning away from this Teamer Sabertooth. I'm not too sure if I go into full-on Teamer, I can play all this double blue, but I'm going to take it over the Construct here. It just seems like those are the signals I'm seeing, and that's the way to go. Yeah, seeing another Bathe Dragonfire is insane. Kind of the same kind of commons are being around, being pushed late, but this is just hands down, like, above everything else. Better than what we're seeing. Here's a Cunning Strike, which can make it. The thing is, Jeskai, Runemark, and Swiftwater Cliffs, if this is what I'm going to start doing, kind of seem like a better idea. Swiftwater Cliffs I like because I want to care about my mana a lot. Jeskai, Runemark is just a key player in the blue-red beatdown deck. Putting one of these on an Adept, the 4/2 Hexproof Prowess dude. What's the I don't know. But I think just because the lands here, I'm going to take it. I value lands highly. Smoldering Efreet is fine now that we're moving in to red. Keep in mind, blue dried up a little bit. We got this Lotus Patch in fairly late. It tends to be a deep color, though, and this Monster Siege we first picked and may not go into the kind of deck we're drafting right now. So just something to pay attention to. Ruthless Instincts is a better card. If I move into a red-green build and ditch all of my blue, that might be the better pick. And over the 2-drop, I'm actually okay with that. Yeah, so another speculation pick, because I'm just passing up an Efreet, which, as you see, kind of comes around. The 7-drop just can never really make it into a deck. It doesn't do enough at 7. The Rune Marks we already know about with the blue one that I passed being the only one. Shifting Loyalties is powerful effect. I mean, I'm kind of hoping not to play any of these cards, but you have Return to Earth, which is like an okay sideboard card. Smoldering Efreet, I mean, it's a 2-drop, and it looks like we're going into red. And then Shifting Loyalties, now I'm kind of shifting my loyalties between green and blue. So I'm happy to take the red 2-drop. And I'm going to keep that trend going, even though there is an enhanced awareness. That could be wrong, because this 2-drop does kind of suck. But since we kind of got on the red bandwagon a little late, maybe I just want to take more red 2-drops. No, I'm going to take the enhanced awareness. It's just a better card. I don't want to like load up on the Smoldering Efreets. Collateral Damage, we're probably not going to see a lot of synergy with it, but I'll take it. I think I'm more likely to play the Rakshasa's Disdain than the Goblin Boom Keg. And the Lightning Streaker I think is completely unplayable. Oh, there's an enhancement. I wish I had that Efreet now, but whatever. It does seem like, even though these are like the Dregs cards, but it's like blue and red are kind of the last ones there. Kind of nice signals to show. Teamer Sabertooth was really the only strong green signal that I got, and it is just so good that I had to grab it. All right. Decisions. Now, the Sage of the Inward Eye is fantastic, and I wouldn't mind getting the green out in order to start, and just splashing the white for the Jeskai Sage. I'm pretty okay with that. Warden's good. Mystic of the Hidden Way, though, is a nice, solid card. That would definitely be played. But I do think Sage of the Inward Eye is powerful enough that I'm going to take it and see if I can't splash that. That means pretty much I'm abandoning green. I don't expect to see a lot of red on this route. We're going to go for this and see how my white works out. I do want to start making some more tough decisions and narrowing down my picks. Here, I think the Jeskai Wind Scout's fantastic. I'm not too sure if this is a deck for the Siege, if we're going to be slow enough or more tempo-based, if I want to be more proactive. Not too sure. Bring Low would make the cut with 2 Bathe in Dragonfires. I don't really need them, but still, I mean, they're okay removal spells. Teamer Charm and Roar Challenge being the best cards here. Well, Bitter Revelation, but in my colors, these guys are great. But I'm kind of waffling in between what my third color is and what the splash is. The thing is, it looks like I still want to be blue-red base, which means I'm not really splashing Sabertooth, which is really the only reason I want to go green. So unless I get a whole lot more fixing, that's probably not going to happen. I'm much more comfortable splashing white for a 5-drop powerhouse rare. Opulent Palace is an option if I wanted to go and splash the green, but like I was just mentioning, that's not exactly on my top priority list right now. The Whirlwind Adept is good in the archetype, but I don't have the cards that make it good in the archetype, which is the Teamer Matters, like a Ferocious Matters, right? Like you would have the, again, that the Jeskai Rune Mark, which gets big and, gets this guy in the air and hexproofed, or getting the Temur Battle Rage, which we didn't see any in the first pack. So that means I'm much less interested in having the Whirlwind Adept. I'm much more interested in something like a Treasure Cruise, but again, I have 2 Enhanced Awarenesses, I don't really need it, I can get it later. Or this is a free Weapon Master. If I'm looking to splash white, this is kind of like a free dude. And there's nothing else in my colors that I'm excited about. So yeah, I'm starting to move into the Jeskai realm here. So I'm going to cut these guys over here. Mardu Warstreaker is pretty strong over another Efreet Weapon Master, which I'm going to take only because I want to really be solid blue-red with splashing the white. So I know this card I'll be sure I'll be able to play. I don't know how much white fixing I'm going to have. Right now I only have 1 dual land, so I'm a little rough on the fixing. So anytime I can differentiate between the two, I'm going to rock something in my base colors. Crippling Chill could be a deck for it, but right now we're not that tempo based enough to where it's really gonna be effectual. So I'd rather just take a solid guy, which also gets a lot of value. Just means I could be prioritizing some more 3s along the line. Hello, Blossoming Sands. Not that we're gonna take it. I guess we'll take the Alabaster Kirin because there's no other cards in my colors besides Skullkin, which I don't want to play. I was a little worrisome that that's what's happening to the pack. I thought there'd be more blue at the very least. I didn't expect a lot of red. Kirin could definitely make the cut if I get more fixing magically, but halfway through the draft, I don't think I'm going to get to a place where I'm playing like in a Khans draft where there's full-on, perfect mana. The Tormenting Voice would then be the alternative pick after the Kirin, but with 2 Enhanced Awarenesses, I'm not really looking to play Tormenting Voice, so I'll take the Kirin on the speculation that I might be able to cast it. Green fixing is interesting, but I think I just gotta stick to getting a playable here in the Enoch Tracker. Not an exciting playable, but it is a morph. It comes down on 3. We don't have a lot of 3 drops right now, especially if you don't want to count the Monastery Siege, which I'm not excited to do. And yeah, I'm still not interested in going back to green, because the Sabertooth is the only card that matters, blah blah. Snowhorn Rider, I would take the fixing over, because I need to be able to cast the spells before I get them, so yeah. There's that. Hello, Goblin Slide. Pretty sure Windscarred Crag I'm going to slam here. That's a really late throttle. Scrag's actually kind of great in order to be able to get our splash online. I haven't seen the Goblin Slide deck in this format yet. I hear it exists, but I've yet to see it. And I never drafted it in the first place, so I think I'll just take a nice 2-drop. That's fine. Again, Whirlwind Adept, super strong card. In the colors I'm in, just not... I don't have the enablers. Could be right to take the Bloodfire Expert instead, but I'd rather just take the Leaping Master, since it's 2. I don't think I'm playing any of these cards. Maybe I take the Naturalize for the board, and switch my splash out. I can't imagine that ever being correct, so no. I guess just because it's just the best card here, but I'm so not... so with white being a splash, I can't really play it. Here's a Monastery Flock. Not exactly what my deck wants to be doing, but it's fine. And maybe my deck is going to start doing that. I mean, if I look at my deck, really I am a more controlling version in these colors, in which I want to, kind of stall out the late game and then start, I have a couple removal spells, try to get in with the air later. I'm not looking to be super tempo-y. Here's a Shatter for the board. I forgot about the collateral damage. I still don't think I have enough interactions. I have 0 interactions, actually, so there's no way it's making the cut. But just a thought. I want to remember it's there. Right now, the Kirin is the only card I'm for sure not playing. Probably not playing 2 Enhanced Awarenesses. Wouldn't mind upgrading one of these to a Treasure Cruise. And really just want to find some premium removal spells in the uncommon slot. Be that like Jeskai Charms, or be that Bathe. Not Bathe, I already have the Bathes. There's a backup banner in case mana's really bad. What's it called? Burn Away, the uncommon. What's the Arc Lightning? Yeah, those uncommons. Those would be great. Pick up 1 or 2 of those in the next pack, which could happen since we saw so much late red. Here's the Burn Away. Pretty sure it's going to be picked. Let me see what else is here. Yeah, like I said, that's pretty much exactly what I want right now, is a nice, strong removal spell. Aerialist would be great, but with having already like a Lotus Path Djinn, a Surveyor, Sage, even you can argue the Wind Scout, like I have enough kind of late game stuff to start getting there. There's no fixing that I want from this pack. Foil Trail, Howl the Horde. Yeah. pretty easy pick here. This is by far and away the main thing that my deck wants right now. So fixing and removal. I mean, I still have a little light on creatures. Those will come. Especially since some of the creatures I'm not super excited for. I have a number of fillers. There is hope that this guy gets turned on at some point. Really, I'm playing it as a 5/2, so that's my point about. We have some really solid filler cards. Soldier Freet, Monastery Siege, Enoch Tracker. And when I say solid filler cards, I mean like they are just the most fillerish of filler cards. What to take here? My greed makes me want to take a Take-Up Arms, splash it, but then I'm thinking, well, I don't actually even have the deck that takes advantage of the warriors or the tokens. I'm not going to start picking up active treasons. That's pretty bad. Summit Prowlers are really good creature. We're in solid red. This might be the kind of card that I want to fill in the power level, and kind of is a nice bonus card that got so much better in this format since there's way more 2-color decks happening. But still, I'm a little worried with such low fixing that I'm taking a double red spell. But that's okay. The other option would be the Free Weapon Master, which is nice, and I would like it. But I feel like I might be able to get another one later in the draft. And again, like I was saying, if it's between a solid blue or red card versus one of the splash colors, I don't want to go for it. Bummed that of the two fixers in the pack, they are not cards that I can play. But yeah, I think the Prowler's the pick here. Fixing removal. Ooh, Arc Lightning. Pretty sure I'm taking. Definitely over Canyon. Yeah. So that's exactly. So my third pack hopes have been realized, and this is part of the reason that I'm getting paid off and excited for moving into red even late with the Bathe and Dragonfires. Seeing this late Arc Lightning was kind of one of the gifts I was hoping to get, since I knew red was going to be open coming in this pack. Burn Away we opened. Can't really claim that. Nomad Outpost I'm interested in because I need another duel. Question is, do I want it over like a Scion or a Bloodfire Expert or a Force Away? It's not that great. This is like worse than the Gain Life lands, but it doesn't matter. I need it. I do think the Scion is good, but with maybe like another Summer Prowler coming around, I may not need to grab another like double color 4-drop. And I do think fixing is kind of key because I do want to be able to play the Ifrit and the Sage and hopefully get another Freet online. Best cards here are the Enoch Bondkin and the Abomination, of course. And Bloodfire Expert would be fine. Force Away would be fine. But I'm kind of good on the removal, and I'm not a tempo-based deck. So Force Away, though good, I don't really need. Yeah, I'm going to take the fixing. I think that's more key right now. Good 2-drop. If I need more removal, again, I would take the Force Away, but picking up the Burn Away and Arc Lightning means my removal suite with the Bathe and Dragonfires in those two, like my red is just stronger. Surprised there's not more red happening. I like the 2-drop, of course. 2-drop's nice and early. Getting a couple damage and filter through and clean your hand up is nice. The Mardu Warshaker I have one of. I don't have like infinite amounts of 3s to make the Mardu Warshaker like super insane. Yeah, I always say when in doubt, take the lower drops. This is fine. It pretty much rounds out our deck fantastic to where we have a really nice curve. We now have playables. We can just kind of start setting up and kind of making our deck, fine-tuning it, as it were. Wouldn't mind one late red gift, but this is part of the issue with cons. Even moving into red, as late as I did know it would be open in this pack, I'm not even sure how open it was. That Arc Lightning was a nice gift I mentioned, but the red's just so weak. I was looking for like an Arrow Storm or something, but we haven't seen it. I definitely want another Enoch Tracker. I would take the Bloodfire Expert over it. I really need to decide, though, how aggressive is my deck? And I really don't think it is. To where I don't think the Bloodfire Expert's going to be particularly fantastic. I'm actually interested in this Set Adrift over it. Would love one more fixer. Here's the Tranquil Cove, which I'm going to take over the Sandbar. That really makes me feel confident for my 2 easy white splashes. Might even make me feel confident enough to play the Alabaster Kirin, depending upon how the mana shakes down. But I like Set Adrift over like maybe 2 Enhanced Awarenesses. Not sure yet. I might cut like the Whirlwind Adept. I have no ways to really make the Whirlwind Adept like insane. Here I will take the Warshrieker. Start lowering the curve a wee bit. Bloodfire Mentor's not doing a lot on the deck, but I'll take it for the sideboard in case I find out as I build, or just as I'm playing, that I really do want to start building a more control-y red-blue deck, which is certainly an option. Cancel for the board or Tormenting Voice? Tormenting Voice is fine. I probably don't play either, which is bad because I should be... Oh, well, I actually got one. Okay, cool. I should be developing my skills to a point where even if I don't want to main deck a Cancel Tormenting Voice, I know when I want to be bringing them in, but I have yet to do that. To me, they're just cards that I tend not to play well, that I don't have the value for. It's always something I look for when I watch other people's videos to see how they use those cards, but I'm just not good at it, to be honest. These cards, not the Heart Piercer Bow, but these blue cards are definitely contenders for, oops, where'd they go? Got all messed up. As actual main deck cards. I'm not too sure if this is how I want to set things up quite yet. But let me pause and clean it up, and I'll start making some decisions after I bring you back. Okay, so here is that initial build of the deck that I got going on. And first thing I'm trying to decide is just how slow I want this deck to be and what's my game plan for this deck, right? Because I really don't have the early drops to be an aggressive deck. I don't have the cards, and I kind of knew that drafting, so I'm certainly not trying to do that. But I'm just kind of thinking, like, well, really, how do I want to win this game? Like, is Whirlwind Adept a card in which I'm planning on winning? And not really. Again, I can't really abuse it, so it's just going to be like it was in Cons. It's a 4/2 for 5 and hexproof. And that's just going to be too easy for things to trade with, because I can't have a lot to do outside of that. And so it makes me look at a couple different cards, like, is this a Freet, a card I want, which is much more aggressive, where my life total doesn't matter? Or am I going to be preserving my life total, and that means I may not want to be trading off my Freet? Unfortunately, I don't have other 2-drops, and since if I do want to just try to get to late game, and my 2s and 3s are so low, you'll notice, even with my 3 morphs, it means I think I need the Efreet in here, just so I don't fall too far behind. So it's actually going to stay. The Kieran I'm going to cut, even though it's one of the more powerful creatures. I don't think I need it in this deck. Like I mentioned before, I do have other flyers, Wind Scout, the Path, and my 2 5-drops. And this isn't exactly the kind of card I want to be splashing. Having 3 white sources that are kind of free means my 2 splashes are just nice and good. My mana is going to be super good. So I have plenty of 4-drops, other flyers. I feel like the Alabaster Kieran is a card that I don't need to strain my mana to play. It's just not worth it. I do like, of course, a removal suite. I was mentioning that earlier. I'm even going to play the Set Adrift as another one. I could argue playing the other Enhanced Awareness, and this goes back to what is my deck doing and how am I winning. If I'm thinking I just want to kind of stay alive a little bit longer, then like this Bloodfire Mentor could be good to kind of just like gum up the ground a wee bit. As well as this Enhanced Awareness could replace the Set Adrift. I have 4 other decent removal spells. Set Adrift's good, but maybe I need the card draw to make sure I'm getting advantage. But I think 1 Enhanced Awareness and a Monastery Siege is enough. I don't think I want to overdo it. I'd rather have more removal. I also like the Bloodfire Mentor. I can play after, on turn 4 with a Mardu Warshrieker. Again, just keep going up the ground. I don't like that this guy can't trade off with anything, but it's nice to be able to, at least loot later. I'm not excited for my deck is my point, but there you go. I could play the Cancel as another removal piece. I just don't like counterspells in limited. Well, that's all I play. I don't like counterspells. Rakshasa's Disdain is fine for the sideboard. Although I'd probably just play Cancel if I feel like there's a huge bomb I couldn't deal with over Rakshasa's Disdain. Tormenting Voice, another option if I wanted to play it to help with the quality of hand, turn on my Bloodfire Enforcers. But again, with the current, I prefer these card advantage options, even though they're not great, the Enhanced Awareness, Siege, and Bloodfire Mentor, over say something like Tormenting Voice, when all it really does is help the Bloodfire Enforcers. I don't want to make my deck worse just to turn these guys on. I don't really care that much. The only instance I have are 5-drops, which means that the Bloodfire Enforcers aren't going to be turned on until turn 5. But you never know. I could get lucky, turn 3, and then turn 5 one of these guys. I'm just not going to bank on it. I feel pretty good that this is the deck. I don't have a lot of strong options from the sideboard, so I think this is about as good as it's going to be. So let's add some lands in. I would love to have 4 plains if it's easy enough with the rest of the mana, just because how perfect is that? 4 white sources for a morph and then 1 splash is great. But let's see what the other colors are. We have 6, 7, that's 8 blue sources. which isn't great, especially with a double blue here in the Aven Surveyor, even though it's a little bit later in the game. And then 7, 8, 9, 10 black sources, which I do like, with the double red Summit Prowler and having some heavy early red. So really, it's like, can I get away with 9 mountains? Probably could. I think I'm more just likely to be comfortable getting away with 3 white sources. That's the whole point of getting rid of the Alabaster Current, in order to only splash Sage and then Riot. Because 3 white sources for the Sage is fine, and then the free Weapon Master, again, if I don't have it, it should be okay. And having 7, 8, 9 blue sources with the Aven Surveyor and being base blue-red, I kind of like a lot more. So this should just have a really nice, fantastic, solid mana base. Makes me very excited for moving into the first round.